we talk about Messi and Ronaldo leaving our ether. Jude Bellingham is sort of emerging as the future of Real Madrid and also La Liga, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's part of the reason why Madrid spent so much money on him, right? Was because he's seen as the future for the next 10 or however many years. Clearly, he's a different player as well to these ones we've had before, right? It's like Bellingham does it all, really. I think it was interesting that he didn't receive the same kind of acclaim when he first arrived as Ronaldo, for instance, when he arrived from United. Clearly, Bellingham wasn't seen as like a ready-made star in the same way, even though he's proved to be that. But, you know, there's no higher praise than these Real Madrid commentators comparing him to the great Alfredo Di Stefano, who helped Madrid win the 5 European Cups in the 1950s. And it kind of, you can sort of see that in his play a bit, this fact that he is everywhere across the pitch. Michael will know better than me, but we saw that again on Saturday as well. He does everything, and Madrid fans are in love with him for the moment.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Michael, this is a really good opportunity to bring you into this. Let's talk about the El Clasico. Real Madrid win 2-1. Jude Bellingham, one absolute wonder goal, an absolute belter. Sort of playing as this sort of alternative striker to Real Madrid right now. And, you know, as many games as he's played, he has scored.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. It just keeps on going. And obviously to do it twice in a Clasico, you know, the biggest stage he's played on so far. And he didn't dominate the game, actually, but he won the game. I thought for 70 minutes, he was pretty quiet. I thought Gavi did a really good job on him. I think Gavi was probably the best player on the pitch. And actually in this game, Bellingham kind of started from kind of a stricter role, a bit more disciplined, like left of a midfield four. Wasn't really that involved for long periods. And it felt to me in the second half, he was given a bit more of a free role and was actually dropping deeper than I would have expected to get the ball a lot, which is obviously kind of contrary to what he did in terms of deciding the game. But yeah, I mean, he is incredible. I mean, so far in this domestic campaign, he's been the best player in Europe by quite a long way. And I guess the inevitable chat after last night is whether he can push on and become a real contender for the main award itself. Because, I mean, as you allude to, it's been an award for kind of older players. I mean, no one born after 1987 has won the Ballon d'Or because it's been Ronaldo, Messi, Modric and Benzema. And I mean, I'm born in 1987 and I'm very much past my prime. So it's about time someone else stepped up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, do we feel, even at 20 years old, and it's hard to predict someone's future at this point in time, if Bellingham has the star quality to bring global viewers to La Liga?
I think he's because he's a different player to Ronaldo and Messi, possibly not. We saw there were obviously problems anyway with UK viewers being able to watch the Clasico
I want to come
on
to that
Saturday.
in just a second.
You know, the Bundesliga has Harry Kane. Bellingham feels like that kind of star, but I'm sort of hesitant to say he's going to be the one to bring all these viewers over to La Liga when can he keep up this goal scoring? Ronaldo and Messi obviously had these amazing goal scoring records. I think they're different kind of players, and maybe Ronaldo and Messi lend themselves a bit more to bringing in lots and lots of eyeballs for, you know, neutrals who might not be that into one particular football club or football as a whole.
Yeah, Paul, from a Barcelona perspective, how did the Catalan fans view that El Clasico on home turf as well? Well, second home for the time being.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that the Barcelona fans and even myself, I share a lot what Michael just said. I think that Bellingham didn't dominate the game. Bellingham just won the game, which still is a lot. But yeah, I think that Barcelona fans were like, everyone was happy with the display on the first half that Barcelona made. Second half, I think that the team, I mean, they were afraid to lose at some point, and that's what got them to lose. And it's a tough blow to take. It's a tough blow to take, especially from the mental point of view, because apart from all the tactic perspective and the analysis that we can make around the game, it's just a state of mind, the El Clasico. If you win El Clasico, no matter if you play bad, like the state of mind around the club is going to improve. And Barcelona and Real Madrid are such a political club and so like deep into the society that this matters a lot. This is really, really important. Now Barcelona like falls 4 points in behind Real Madrid, which is, I mean, it's not gonna end the league here, but it's starting to be some gap in La Liga. And this weekend they are playing against Real Sociedad at their place, which is going to be tough for Barcelona. And if you think about it, and that's the way that Barcelona fans are like approaching this next game, like you made a really good first half against Real Madrid, and 1 week after you can end up like 7 points behind them. So it's a bit of a make or break moment for Barcelona fans right now. But yeah, the season is long, but the outcome wasn't great for all of them.
Yeah, I want to touch on that because Gundogan, who actually scored the goal for Barcelona at the age, 33, says, after the game, I wish there was more anger and disappointment. This is the problem. There has to be more emotion. In his head, a player that's played at the biggest leagues, right? Just come from Manchester City, a treble winner. He understands the passion that lies beneath some sort of, I would say local rivalry because they're two different cities. But El Clasico, that fire in your belly, if you cannot get up for this, how can you get up for a season, a Champions League campaign? Because, for a lot of fans, this is the most important game in the season.
Yeah, by far. And it was totally refreshing. I'd say that there were no fans, or like the majority of the fans were really in favor of Gundogan saying that, because it was refreshing to see someone from the inside having these sort of words. Because at some point, I think that Barcelona, is a club that in recent years you have heard a lot, like how bad of a state the former executive board left the club in, which I totally agree. They left the club in a really bad state. You have also heard, like, look at La Liga, they don't allow us to register players. So we've heard a lot of like external reasons or excuses, if you want to call it that way. But it's refreshing to see that someone from the inside make this sort of an assessment, because Barcelona current state in all senses has a lot to do on how the club is inside, basically, and just the players know what's going on in there. And I also feel that Gundogan had the liberty or had the willingness to say that, because he's been here only for like some months. He hasn't been here like for 8 years. He hasn't seen a lot of things going on, so he doesn't know that much about the politics. He just says what he thinks, which is really good in my opinion. I also think that this winning mentality, it's not something that you are born with. It's something that you have to keep growing, and you have to evolve, you have to learn. And it's important to have this sort of narrative inside the dressing room, to let the Gabis, to let the Pedris, to let the Valdes, to let the Fermins, all of them know what the elite of football is about. So that's why I think it's like really good. And now it's like a duty from Xavi and from the club itself to make those words count, to make this like narrative and like philosophy being a standard inside this dressing room.
If you like this video, click subscribe for more content like this. We'll be joined by the likes of David Ornstein, Matt Slater, Adam Crafton, Carl Anker, and plenty more through the season to bring you the inside track to the biggest stories in football. If you'd like to listen to the full episodes for free, search the Athletic Football Podcast wherever you get your podcasts from.